cross-examination if they get their 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDonald and audience, for your involvement. First and foremost, I'd like to address a few of the facts and quote that Mr. McDonald brought up. If you go to the sources of the facts are very important. Here's a source for you that's impeccable. The California State Board of Equalization, nonpartisan, elected to collect sales taxes and to administer them and to be above board as far as partisan politics goes. The Board of Equalization says that all the taxes put together that oil companies pay to drill for 1 barrel of oil out of Texas, if you add all the taxes, pipeline tax, Texas sales taxes, etc., the ones you mentioned, $14.33 to drill for a barrel of oil in Texas. In California, you have all the taxes together, including no severance tax, and a low property tax, by the way, because of Prop 13, unlike in Texas and other states. $4.22 compared to $14.32. Now you tell me who's paying more. Why are the oil companies paying a lot more in Texas, so Texas students can get their college education, and we can't? They're not paying their fair share. I mean, the oil companies are great people. They're helping us get around in our cars. I would like the day when we can get around in electric cars, and maybe hybrid cars to begin with, and other kinds of future technology. And then maybe we would like to have the oil companies get involved in new technologies. You guys should actually be moving forward to switch over, in my view. A couple more points. He says that the cost of gas would go up. UC Berkeley study, quoted by Thomas Elias, and he also misquotes over here in the other article. Thomas Elias from UC Berkeley says that if the oil companies were able to pass the cost of the tax on the gallon of gasoline, if they get away with it by taking it to court and winning in court, it would turn out to 1/2 cent per gallon extra. Would you folks pay 1/2 cent a gallon extra for your gasoline in order to have tuition-free or tuition affordable education? Would you do that? Of course you would. And here's the reason. Because the global market, sir, oil prices are not set by one small tax in California being passed on, because Californians don't just use California oil. They use oil coming out of Alaska being refined, out of Texas, out of Saudi Arabia, out of Venezuela. The world market for crude oil is what works. And it's supply and demand that creates the price of oil. It's not a small tax. And frankly, guess in your gallon of gasoline, whatever it costs, $4 a gallon right now, you know what the cost is that's included in there? The cost of the severance taxes in Alaska, Texas, Saudi Arabia, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and on and on and on. Everywhere in the world there's a severance tax to get here, and guess what you're paying already in the price of gasoline in California? That severance tax is passed on to you for $4 a gallon. You tell me, if this is the case, that the tax will raise the price of a gallon of oil, and therefore not having the tax should reduce the gallon of oil, right? Why are Texans paying 50 cents a gallon less right now while they still have the tax in place? These numbers have to be accurate. They have to come from sources that you can believe are credible. The ugly reality of taxes. The ugly reality of taxes, he says, taxes get passed on automatically. Most businesses don't go to third world countries like Indonesia just because the taxes are lower there. They go there for cheap labor. Let me see you, sir, pick up a barrel. I'd love to see the oil companies pick up an oil well here and take it to Nevada. Move the oil well from here to Nevada so they can drill over there. Can't do it, so thank you very much.
Peter Jefferson now presents the affirmative rebuttal for 4 minutes.
Right, this is a continuation of my cross-examination, and that is the gentleman, Mr. McDonald, talks about, if we have this tax put in place here, it'll reduce the drilling for oil, it'll increase the cost of oil. The fact is, when businesses get taxed, he says, in California, they pick up and go somewhere else. We know, if we study this more carefully, more objectively, that most businesses that go to cheaper labor states or third world or global south countries are going there not for lower taxes, they're going there for lower labor costs. And frankly, I'd like to see an oil company pick up an oil well in California and refuse to make $23 billion. By the way, the profits that Chevron made last year, Chevron doubled its third quarter profits to $7 billion, and they made $29 billion in profits last year, Chevron. I would love to see Chevron pick up all its oil wells from here, take them to Nevada, and have people there pay them less to drill for oil, and pay a lower tax in Nevada for oil. Can they pick up the oil wells? It's not like General Motors to pick up their factory and go to Mexico, right? It's not the same thing, sir. Thank you for bringing it out anyway. New technology invented. We see the beautiful commercials on TV where they show all these incredibly new ways of drilling for oil. 10 different tentacles going out and reaching out for oil underground, rather than just one drill. One drill, but 10 different tentacles going to 10 different oil deposits. And frankly, the most recent invention, the oil company which actually reduced their costs tremendously, increased their profits, is the ability to look through the earth and find oil. A transparent earth now. They've done that. That was an LA Times article about how the oil companies are going to town with getting more and more oil, finding how to take it out of shale and stones and rocks, They have the technology. We think they're wonderful to invent this technology, but guess who gave them the technology? Students who went to engineering schools, petroleum engineering schools. Who's going to pay for those students' tuitions? And we don't just need petroleum engineers, we also need doctors. We need engineers who can build fast trains and hybrid cars and electric whatever. We need engineers who can build the 21st century products, not just drill for oil. For those students like you to become those engineers, you have to have affordable, accessible education. We are not picking on the oil companies. We just believe the oil companies should pay for some of this natural resource, which really doesn't belong to them. It really belongs to we the people, because it's a finite resource once again. A couple more points. Mr. McDonald talks about how oil taxes were defeated. Yes, they were defeated. Prop 87 was defeated for several reasons. One is that money from Prop 87, the oil tax, severance tax, would have gone to solar panels, to renewable energy production, and that's it. It wasn't going to education. It wasn't going to colleges and K-12 schools. When you put this money from oil into education, 70% of Californians say they will vote for it. When you put it in other kinds of technology which they're not sure about, they won't vote for it. And the oil companies spent $100 million, didn't they, sir, in Prop 87? While Prop 87 people raised $30 million. When you're outspent 4 to 1, or is it more like 3 to 1, I think you might lose sometimes. So that has a lot to do with it. And frankly, this initiative says that the money brought in from here for education will not supplement the general fund budget. It will be kept in a separate budget to supplant, to add to the general fund budget. There will not be a repeat of the lottery. The lottery which you brought up, and it's very true what you said. When the lottery was brought in, it was sold to us as a supplemental fund, but instead it was a supplanting fund where the lottery money came in. Guess what? The governor and legislature took it out of the general fund equal, and therefore there was no money coming in except for 3% of our budget right now for lottery. So this is not a lottery initiative. This is a tax oil initiative, oil extraction tax, fair tax on a natural resource that belongs to all of us in order to give our young people a future. This is about America's and California's future. Other countries are having tuition-free education everywhere in the Western industrial world except here. The French students pay no tuition. We paid no tuition in the 60s and 70s. The German students pay no tuition, and they're creating incredible products that we need right here in our own society.